The preterite and the imperfect are two verb tenses that we have in Spanish, and they both want to talk about what happened in the past. But they don't talk about the same sorts of things. And in the center column here, I have some different ways that we can think about the differences between the preterite and the imperfect. All right, we have two pictures. One of these pictures represents the preterite and one represents the imperfect. We can think of the preterite as a series of completed actions. So we could say, for example, that this morning I got up, I ate breakfast, I drove to school, I sat down in class. Each of those actions are completed. We know when they started, when they ended. The imperfect we can think about by this picture over here, and we could think that that's something that's ongoing. While I was eating breakfast, am I done eating breakfast? Well, we're not really for sure. It's something that's ongoing. So then, if we look at these other words that we have, a series of actions, we're going to put that over in the preterite column. Something that's ongoing in the past, it doesn't have a definite start or a definite stop. We'll put that over here in the imperfect column. Well, what's an interrupting action? Well, let's think about it in terms of example. If we said, while I was eating, the phone rang. So we had an ongoing action, which is right here, which is the while I was eating. And so we would write comía. The phone rang, and that's an action that interrupted what was happening. So if we want to think about it in terms of a picture, we could say, while I was eating, the phone rang. And so we have that one interrupting action that happens. Another word that's going to help us while we're telling these stories is the word mientras. And the word mientras means while. So we could say, while I was eating, the phone was ringing. Now both of those are two simultaneous actions. While I was eating, the phone was ringing. The one didn't interrupt the other, which is different from while I was eating, the phone rang. Another thing that is very helpful when we're talking about actions in the past is to use the structure ir plus a plus an infinitive. So we use the ir plus a plus infinitive to say what was going to happen in the past. So we could say something like iba a comer. I was going to eat. In this one, again, we have that it was an ongoing, it was something that was possibly going to happen. We're going to put that over into the imperfect category. All right, there are lots of ways to use the preterite and the imperfect, but today what we want to remember are the following. A series of completed actions, that will be the preterite. An ongoing action, that will be the imperfect. If we have something that was happening, imperfect. Something that interrupted it, preterite. A key word to help us is mientras, which means while. And if we want to say what was going to happen, we will use ir plus a plus an infinitive, and we will conjugate ir in the imperfect. There's a lot more to come. This is just the first part. All right, go out and try a few on your own. Suerte.